Hi guys, it's Kyle from Regrettable Props, and we're going to be making the hip pieces slash hip protectors for the Orochi. I'm going to be providing you with the templates on 8.5 by 11 in the description on PDF format. And what we're going to be doing is there's going to be pieces named A and B. For the A pieces, we're going to be cutting out 12 of them, and then for the B pieces, we're going to be cutting out 4 of them. And then after doing that, we're going to score each piece, covering all the edges and making sure we are scoring it in the direction that you currently see on screen. There is 3 A pieces per each hip piece, and then there is a single B piece at the bottom. Here I'm using a soldering iron to punch out the holes for the twine or the knotting that's supposed to be done on the actual piece. Make sure you do this outside or in a well ventilated area and are using a respirator mask if you are choosing to use a soldering iron or potentially a Dremel, because both of those things will result in the foam burning. You could probably use a drill, or if you're able to, you could use a pen. This all depends on the thickness of your foam, not your foam, depends on the thickness of your string or rope that you are using to make it seem like each piece is connected through this braiding method of the rope. So what we're going to be doing for the B piece, we're only going to be doing a row of holes on one side, 2 rows on one side, and then for the A pieces, we're going to do a row of 2 holes on the top and the bottom of each piece, moving lengthwise across it, and we're just going to keep doing that until each piece is done. It's a very time-consuming process, but it's what we're going to be doing to achieve the amount of detail. Since the Orochi armor pieces seem to be very easy to do, it's just very tedious and time consuming to actually do this for each piece. If you follow that step properly, this is what your pieces should be looking like. I did enough. I didn't do a certain amount. I just did enough to cover the lengthwise portion of each piece, making sure you have it spaced evenly and make sure the hole is obviously wide enough for each knot or each type of rope that you're using. Later, I heat sealed everything with a heat gun and then covered the entire piece with black Modge Podge, all of them, including the edges, except for obviously the side that's going to be against you, in about 2 coats, and that's Modge Podge mixed with black paint. Then I give each piece a dry brushing of just brown paint, acrylic paint, to help give a base color for this, and we're going to slowly going to be building up this wood grain texture. Now for my armor, I am going to be adding more painting to it. If you want, for your preference, you can obviously paint the wood to look like a certain color, like oak or cherry or mahogany, or have it be lighter or darker or browner. It's completely up to your preference. This is just how I did my painting scheme. And then I mixed brown and orange for the second coat, and then I dry brushed brown and ivory mixed together on the edges to add some highlights, because that's what's true to the image that I'm using. And lastly, I am just dry brushing on plain ivory, not mixed with anything, to slowly build up from the dark to the lighter, the warmer colors, and so on. For the bottom B pieces, I am based off the reference image I'll be showing here. They are a solid color. I am doing mine out of blue, so I started with a dark navy blue, and then I am just tracing out the symbol or design that's on my hip pieces, which is true to my in-game character. You guys don't have to do this step if you want, but I'm just following it for each hip piece section, painting it navy blue, and then obviously that outside area is going to be painted white, and these colors are just going off of what I'm using as my reference image. I found that the navy blue was too dark for me, didn't have enough color, so I added a lighter blue, and I did all this painting process using dry brushing. Now after painting each piece, depending on how far you guys go, this is what we should be having so far, or at least in my case. But now we're going to be moving on to the tedious portion of putting the string through each hole. The rope that I bought had 3 strands. The bundle of 3 strands was too wide for my holes, but once I de-stranded it into each 3, once I unwound it so it was in 3 strands, those individual strands were the correct diameter for, my holes that were on each piece, and then I did it through did this process for all the pieces. To give you guys an idea about the timeline of how long it took me to do it, for all 4 pieces, it took me about 6 hours of cutting out the cutting the rope, putting it into the 3 strands, putting each strand through the holes, and then later hot gluing each piece behind, each strand of rope behind, and then cutting that so it's cleaning up so it looks a lot better. And here you can see the final process of almost all the pieces done. My fingers were bruised from the amount of how long it took, and you're going to obviously get a lot of rope fibers picked up. So here you can see each piece has been glued, or each strand has been glued from behind and then cleaned up, cutting it. And then later I connected each piece using black webbing, allowing it so it was overlapping slightly of the base of the next piece above it, and then it allows it to have some mobility. If you guys don't have black webbing, you can obviously just overlap each piece so it's like a stepping system in a way, and hot glue those edges. But anyways, it's been Kyle from Regrettable Props. The template's gonna be in the description, and I hope I see you guys for the next part of the Orochi build. Thanks, bye.